Yo.
Welcome back to another week, another segment of Express Yourself.
Express
It's your boy
yourself.
G Butters.
Yes. Waste. Come on.
Yes, sir.
All of them.
Shit, last week's episode was about segment. Toxic.
Damn, it was. Yeah.
That was
That was a big
dope.
one. That was a good one.
Y'all ain't see it? Check that shit out, bro. A lot of toxic motherfuckers out there. But today, shit, we going about like the shit that's trending and shit that we hear and we live day to day by. So today's segment's about overthinking. There's a lot of shit you can do with overthinking.
Yeah.
Shit.
Okay,
Go your first take, or what you think when you first hear when I said overthinking? What's the first thing that pops to your head?
Okay, if I hear the word overthinking, I'm thinking like typically bad things are the result of overthinking. You get what I'm saying? I think overthinking has a negative connotation on it. You know what I mean? I just think it does. I think it just sounds like it don't sound positive. You know what I mean? Um, I like to think though. So, I guess it's also about perspectives, which I guess we're going to dive into all three of our perspectives of overthinking, so we might be able to open it up a little bit more. But to me, initially, it just has such a negative connotation. Um, Most people that do it is more problematic. It just seems like they're not able to actually do the actions, whatever they're even thinking about. They're not even able to take action on it because of overthinking, or whatever actions they want to do, or they're overthinking it, man. They're not gonna get. I don't feel like you're gonna get nothing done typically when you're overthinking, man. But putting yourself in a negative mindset. So that's my first take on it. Just a thought.
I disagree.
Okay, good.
I
I don't think
think
that's the end all, but yeah, go ahead.
I think just on your overall perspective, I feel like when overthinking comes to my mind, I think about the reason why that person is thinking is because whoever else is involved or intertwined in the situation, their lack thereof. Like, are you not reassuring? Is there no clarity there, or like, what is putting that person who is in that overthinking headspace? What's putting them there?
Hmm.
So I think about it like, as far as
So
that
because of somebody?
yeah, I think it's because it's, I wouldn't say, I mean, I guess like, I don't want to sound biased, but I feel like, I guess there are people who just sit around and like ponder on whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
But I feel like usually like when I've been in the mindset of overthinking, it's like been somebody like, okay, I'm trying to think this, and I've already introduced whatever I'm trying to find out to that person, the other person involved. And it'd be like, there's still no pull. So I'm still here dwelling or pondering or trying to come out with my own resolution. So that's why I would be overthinking. But like I said, I'm not everybody. But somebody definitely, if there's someone just sitting around overthinking everything or like very dwellful, then yeah, that's definitely like a bad characteristic to have. And it's just like you need to utilize your time better, I would say, because nobody should just sit around pondering on whatever it is
how
you
you say you
are.
disagree with me?
I say that when it comes to my mind, I don't think about like someone having bad character. I think about, as opposed to the other person involved, the lack thereof of that person.
I guess I wasn't saying like it's not a bad. I don't think it's a character thing. To me, when I say bad or negative connotation, it's not. I don't mean you're bad or you. It's a negative thing on you. It's more of a negative impact on you.
Yeah, I don't feel like that though when I think
So you
of
don't
it.
feel like it's more of a negative. It has more of a negative impact.
I do feel like it has a negative impact, but I feel like to overthink overall, it's not negative to do so. I don't think that. I feel like when I think of it, I always think that it's a repercussion from somebody else or a situation. I don't feel like anybody just chooses to wake up every day and just overthink, the what ifs or why or whatever. That's why I said I disagree, because I think it's more of a response action instead of it's just I'm doing this today.
Oh yeah, well no, yeah, for sure. No, I never said that either. I never
But
said
I'm
it was
saying like when you said when it comes to your mind, I don't think that.
Say
Like when you say how like your first thought of it, I don't think that.
Oh,
I literally think that
like,
it's them responding to
because I guess
something,
when
lack thereof.
when I was coming to my mind, I was thinking like, somebody. If I hear, okay, again, it was like if I hear somebody or somebody's talking about somebody else and they said they've been overthinking or I've been overthinking, I'm thinking of it like this probably is something negative that's been fucking with them. It's been fucking with them in a bad way, or something, or they just again, like I said, or they just haven't taken. So it's not always negative because it's just
Yeah, I was gonna say,
or they're just not about to take an act. They haven't taken action on nothing because of just being confused and not knowing which way to go.
Yeah. I don't know.
So they haven't
I
taken
just feel like
action.
it's a
I think number one thing
I feel like
they
it's a
haven't taken action.
responding action when I think of it off the dome. But we'll dive in later. What do you think?
I mean, I could agree and disagree on both takes. It's just like I just feel like everything about overthinking. Like to me, like when I first over here like overthinking, I feel like it's a personal thing first because it's just like you gotta see like why you overthinking shit.
Right.
So like when I hear it, that's what I think is something personal. Like, but then like if I hear like someone else, I don't think negative or anything like that. It's just depends situation too, like how you overthink certain shit. So like with me, it's just like I feel like if you're overthinking a lot, like if you know someone that's like you're no longer overthinkers because you got a lot of time in your hands to be real.
Yeah. Facts. I was gonna say.
That's just my personal opinion on it. Like if you
Yeah.
overthink, you have a lot of fucking time on your hands because like I used to be an overthinker, like maybe like in middle school.
Yeah.
Like when I first moved to Chicago to here, it's just like I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't really know the city like that. I really didn't go out. I wasn't mobile at all. Like I would just go to school, come home, go to school, come home. That's all I did.
Yeah.
It was like jail risk basically because it was school, home. That's all I knew.
Right.
So I mean, I would overthink this because I had a lot of time. As I grew up, as I started working, I started going out, I started getting my cars and all this other shit, going out and shit like that. I barely overthink, but if I do overthink, it's more of a decision, like how he was saying, like
That was okay. That's funny because that's
it's
really
more
what
of
mine was
a
thinking right now when you were
yeah.
saying that too.
It's like I'm more of a dweller. Like I dwell to like 'cause I want to make the in my eyes make
The
the right
best or the
decision
right
for
decision,
myself. You
right?
know,
Yeah.
so that's the only thing I ever overthink. Or like how we were saying a little bit, like 1 or 2 seconds ago, like me, like since I'm a parent, like I overthink a lot sometimes. Like with my son, I'll be like, "Fuck, I gotta make sure this, and this is right for this, and this to be right for this to be right for him." Type shit, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I overthink. But other than that, I don't really overthink. Like that's what I'm saying. It's more of a personal because it's just like if you let certain shit affect you, it's like someone could make a comment too. Like let's say like high schoolers like that bully or something. Someone could be like, "Oh, you look fat in that shirt or some shit."
Yeah.
And now next time you wear that shirt and you overthink and you look at yourself
I
like,
got you know where the
damn, I
shirt no
do
more.
look fat.
I'm trying to
I
correct
do
your
look
posture,
this
suck your
type shit,
stomach
you know?
in, all type of
Now
shit.
you're overthinking a comment type shit, you know?
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's just personal, like
It's a
how
good one.
strong minded you being, you know? Like me, like if someone says some shit now, like now to me, I don't really, so I just laugh. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, cool, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. I don't let it phase me.
Mm.
So that's what I'm saying. Overthinking, I feel like it just comes off personal, like just personally, just a thought. That's my first take on it. What you overthinking over there, bro?
Yeah. You over there. It looks like you're pondering on
I
something.
am. I'm just thinking it all out. I don't know if I say it's overthinking. Just like it was a good take. I just thought that was a really good take.
I think we all
Yeah.
had very good perspectives.
Yeah, that's I like that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like that. So
And they're like all
so we
three
got
different.
like you got like
Yeah.
personal. You got well, how'd you say yours? How would you summarize it?
Mine's just like when you're intertwined with a situation and they're lacking thereof. So it's forcing you to basically ponder on whatever situation it is.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. It's a personal aspect, but I just delve a little bit deeper.
Yeah, no, I just said it's just it's just a decision. Yeah, I think yeah. So I mean, yeah, all that. I think all that. I mean,
It
that's a
ties
great
them together.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can all easily tie in together. I think about the next take is kind of like ways to deal with overthinking. I just think like one way I've dealt with it, like you said, getting busier, yeah. But then like you said, like if you're a busy person and then it's just a big decision you got to make.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we just got big decisions to make. We all do them. You know what I mean? We're leaders. So being a leader, you have big decisions you have to make. Often you're accountable for not just yourself, but you're also accountable for others.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that being the case is, and then a lot of it can be sometimes some might say a lot of pressure falls back on you. You know what I mean? Because you're carrying all the weight.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. So with that being the case, is it's like, would y'all consider that overthinking when you're making these big decisions? Is that considered overthinking when you're weighing out these options for big decisions?
I don't think so.
You know, that's not what you would put in overthinking.
No.
The category.
No.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. Because if you were certain of something, you just do.
You would
You
just
think
think it,
about
right?
it.
All
Yeah.
right, okay. Because are you? Would you? So then, would you put it in a box when you say overthinking is overthinking? I'm gonna play with the words and be like thinking something over and over again, or thinking on something over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you said, if you thought about it once, most things, you just gonna come with a quick decision, right? You just like boom, hey, well this is
I was gonna say I'm more impulsive, but at the same time being strategic. So I don't feel like I'm a very dwellful person when it comes to me making the moves and everything being, on me. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I do. I like I said, it's not that
Hmm.
I want to make the right decision because I mean, you learn from mistakes type shit, you know.
yeah,
But it's just like I want to be sure of what I'm doing because, like, if it's my like personal, like how you said, like if it was me personally, just me, I'll make a decision quick no matter what. If I fuck
Hmm.
up, I fuck up, you know.
Yeah.
But
right.
like how
Like
you
the
were saying,
accountability part, though, right?
yeah. But like
Response,
if it's
yeah,
involves someone else, like if and it's not just me now. Like I always say, it's not just me; it's me and my son. Now, if I fuck something up where it involves two people, it's affecting two people, not just affecting me.
I agree.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
That one's big on
that's
me.
why I overthink it.
That would be if I were to experience overthinking, no real shit. If I that would be the reason. It would literally be because it's not even me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because I really don't give a fuck about making a mistake.
Yeah,
For
I don't give a
myself,
fuck,
I don't give a
but
fuck about fucking
you don't
up.
know
I
the toll
don't.
it's gonna have on the
But
other
if
person.
somebody's involved and it can, affect people, a person, yeah, I'm typically thinking about that. I do. I think
Yeah,
because I don't want to. I
I
don't
don't
like
feel
people
like I
hurting.
ponder
I don't
on
like
it
people
though. Like
hurting.
I
My
don't
biggest
sit
thing is the
there.
hurting
I don't think I overthink on it though. Like
because a
it's just
decision that
like
couldn't hurt somebody.
naturally thinking and I move on. Like I'm not gonna say that I don't like be strategic with it and have
Yeah,
plan A, plan B, plan C, whatever, think of the what ifs. But it's like I trust myself enough to have thought all this out and then it's like if something happens and it's like, damn, it's unfortunate, it's just like it's literally the unexpected. And it's like I couldn't avoid it, you know? So it's like I don't ever like enforce myself to be like, ooh, well, what if this happened? Whatever. I just be trying to like trust the process more so when
I
it comes to
guess,
my personal situations.
and I guess, and this might be also what you're saying too, or it might even go into the same category. But like, I guess also after making so many tough decisions,
Yeah. I don't know
you
if
know what
that's
I
how I
mean?
feel.
yeah.
That you kind of, because I'm a pretty quick decision
It's like
maker.
I've
That's
had
what
to
I was
think
gonna
about
say too.
Does that
something
make
more
sense? It's
serious than
very
this. So
seldom.
it's
Oh yeah,
like,
It's
yeah.
very seldom I overthink because I've done, again, like I said, I've made so many tough decisions in my life
Right.
and had to deal with repercussions, also seen benefits, you know what I mean? The pros and the cons, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Of so many
I think
different
that's just
decisions,
life.
which I love about life.
Battling life.
Right? Right. Real
Yeah.
talk. I literally call those moments life. I say, oh
Yeah.
no, I say when life happens. That's what I call those
Yeah.
moments. When life happens is those just, it can be unfortunate, it can be mistakes, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just shit that you couldn't control. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
or that you made a decision you just made, like I said, made a mistake. So yeah, man, I just when being a person that makes decisions often, I feel like it just, and like I said, I think all of us are in those shoes, man, just being decision makers, prime decision makers that people rely on. uh, we might not experience overthinking as much as somebody else that, um, which I can see why you said, like, have more time on their hands. They have
That's a
less
big one.
responsibilities.
no, yeah,
I think maybe if you have less responsibilities, I feel like you probably overthink more. You know what I'm saying? You're not used to responsibilities. So if
yeah.
you don't have a lot of responsibilities, you might see something and where something we might have resolved like this, it'll take them more time
No,
to
yeah,
think something like that out. It'll take
Yeah,
time.
since I said that in the beginning, like I feel like if you are just naturally overthinking, like just putting yourself in that headspace with no real reasoning behind it, you need to utilize your time better.
Yeah.
yeah. Or
There's
not
a
just that. I feel like a lot of people overthink certain situations because they're afraid of the repercussion. It's gonna be if they don't make the right one.
but every decision, even the ones that you feel 100% certain about, is a risk
No, I
at
know,
the
but
end of the day.
I'm
No,
saying
I'm
most
saying for
people,
that
yeah.
person,
No, but it's just like so,
like
let's say like in a relationship.
yeah,
Let's put it in that situation. Let's say you've been hurt before or something. So now
Mhm.
you're overthinking something because you don't want to get hurt again.
Yeah.
Type
right,
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
which is valid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I just feel like that's why I feel like a lot of people overthink it. Whereas it's just like us, though, like how we're saying, like that's how I am too personally. Like I don't really give a fuck because, like at the end of the day, like I said, I own up to my shit. And a lot of people
Yeah,
are afraid to own up to their mistakes. Like me
right.
at work, like everyone comes and asks me, like in my job since I'm manager, they come and ask like, "Oh, you want me to do this? Can I do this? Can I do that?" And I say, "Yeah," or "No, do this," or "Yeah, do this." And then if something goes wrong, I gotta take responsibility.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But I'm aware of that and I'm responsible enough or mature enough to be like, nah, I fucked up. I made that call type shit, whatever. But a lot of people wouldn't, or they'd overthink it. They'd be like, no, I wouldn't want him
I'm
because
like,
type shit.
damn,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like people that overthink too are just scared to take the repercussion of like their decision.
I think. Yeah.
That's just what I think
Yeah.
too.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say, I think when I talk, there's been situations where people that ask me stuff, and like I said, typically I'm pretty immediate with everything,
Right.
but like there's been situations where I'm like, you know what, let me think about it, and it's not a situation where I'm looking at like I'm about to overthink about it. I just literally just need to weigh out the pros and cons, and maybe at that very time, I don't again come back to I don't really have the time to think it out right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I know I need to think this type of situation out because I know most times it's probably like again because it's involving so many people. I need to make sure that this is the right decision. You know what I mean? So I'll be like, let me think shit out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or um, even if it's involving me, I just remember recalling, you know what I'm saying, thinking shit out when somebody has asked me something about myself, if how I would respond to it. Just because you got conflict with who you were and who you grew to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That to be conflict sometimes. Because you a lot of times like, we can't help but to go back into an old mindset when a topic hasn't appeared in so long. Last time we thought about something like that was we just in a different stage in our life. You know what I mean? So when those situations happen to me, I gotta read. Okay, hold on, I'm not that person no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't even consider that overthinking. It's just a moment where I just like, okay, well, I've been changed. I'm not that person. Think it out, and again, I still don't feel like it takes me long. I mean, so overthinking is just, I think it's just, it's understandable for sure, but I feel like it's just not to be, what I'm saying? If you're experiencing it often, I think that's the problem. I think it can be problematic if you're doing it often, because it's like, why is it so challenging for you to think shit out? What's
Right.
taking you so long? Because like I said, it's overthinking it, so you're continuing to go over it. Like, why is it this hard to make a decision? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you thought it out, boom. All right, well, I thought out pros and cons. Boom, this is going to be the decision. I chose. What takes you so long to get to the final acceptance stage, or you say accept the ownership moment when like whatever happens, I can own up to that. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like what gives you that? What separates you from getting to that finish line? You know what I'm saying? I think that's gonna be the person. Like that's the personal perspective. You know what I'm saying? The person is gonna be who you are at those moments. I don't experience them often. I think I'm really good at prioritizing. Again, it's just being used to responsibilities,
Right.
being used to it.
I feel like without even like outweighing the options, if whether that person is problematic, if their feelings are justifiable, if it's discreditable or whatever, I feel like
Mm.
all in all, how to basically cancel it out all in one is living life is a risk. Like you're never going to, as much as you
Right,
might feel like you're
right,
going to, you're never 100% going to be in control of your life. There's
yeah,
always going to be the misfortunate that comes about. And I feel like my peace and like me knowing that I live life righteously, my peace is knowing that whatever the fuck is supposed to happen at that time, at that given moment, it's predestined. Like it's supposed to happen and I just gotta face the repercussions, whether that's good or bad. Like, and just move forward and not dwell on it or whatever. Like I leave whatever the fuck situation that happens. I go toe to toe with it, when it's at that given moment. But once it subsides, I move forward. Like
yeah,
I don't sit and ponder on
for sure.
anything because I utilize my time very well and I feel like it's a next problem or something else beneficial that you have to go and get or execute that problem to move forward and get your greater blessing. So I don't feel like that's why I feel like I'm not a overthinker. Like I feel like I go toe to toe with my problems very well, and I know that every move you make is a risk because you're not going to be all of your situations in life are not going to be a one-on-one experience with just yourself.
Right, no,
Like there's going to be numerous, and you got to worry about if they're going to keep their side of the bargain, if they're righteously, innovating the situation with you or whatever the case may be. So it's like if it's not me personally, like just something that I deal with solely by myself, I'm always accepting to that, failure because it's like I truly don't know
yeah,
how
Yeah.
it's gonna end.
I mean, another way too is just like people gotta be careful when they overthink because I mean I feel like all three of us have like a strong mind where we could cut our overthinking.
Yeah.
But I feel there's a lot of people like in a relationship because I've seen it a lot where because I've experienced it with like once like a couple of my exes or stuff where it's just like they make up these scenarios in their head and they believe that shit. And it's like what overthinking causes you to think that shit to be true type shit, you know? So there's people that do that. And you gotta be careful. I just feel you gotta have a strong mind to like know when.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I've dealt
Because the
with people
mind
that
is
are
wicked.
overthinking.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've
And
always, you know, I've
I feel like
always.
once you start thinking for something you can't control because it's in someone else's hands,
Yeah.
you just stop it there. Because it's just like,
I like that.
how can I think something when I can't control the other person to do what I'm thinking? Like it's for them to decide, not me. I
Yeah.
can't do that shit. So
I
once you
remember
start
doing
thinking
that
that
as
shit,
I remember
yeah.
doing that young
Once you
when I
start
was young.
thinking that
That's what I
shit,
was gonna say. That's
you
the
Yeah,
only
stop.
thing that like
that was
personal
the main
experience
thing
I
I
can
was
relate
doing.
to, and it was just like I'm not gonna say that I sat and pondered and dwelled on it for the end of the time, but I would literally like if I feel like I was in that headspace, I would literally like introduce that topic and be like, hey, this is bothering me, or can we literally try to make some type of resolution, or just cancel all parties and figure out because I don't want to feel like this,
Right,
so I
exactly.
just can't. I mean,
There
I'm
you
not gonna
go.
say that I don't know how it feels, but I don't know how someone would sit there and like consent in fathoming that feeling day in day out. And it's a
Right.
choice because most people, like there are people like like us, we're strong minded and strong willed. That it's like when we do get in those headspaces, it's just kind of like we're kind of enforced to because it's like it's something bigger that we have to consider or someone bigger for that matter. But the people that just have all that time on their hands, stuff like the problems be so minute. And
Yeah.
it's just like they're choosing to sit. Since I don't have nothing else to do with my time, I'm gonna just sit here and go about this situation and pinprick it. And it's just like, why is this happening? And and spend hours thinking on this that could have been spent somewhere else.
No, yeah,
Now
exactly.
that I'm not gonna do
Nah,
it.
that's what I'm
But there are people out there like that, and it's like I personally don't
Yeah, I
know
consume a lot of time
anybody.
into that.
Yeah, and then they end up letting their mind consume them.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's just like all it does is it affects that person mentally because it's just like why are you overthinking something that you can't control?
You can't control the bottom line.
Like you
Right.
can't control it.
And a lot of things in life are going to be uncontrollable. A
Exactly.
lot.
I think another solution for me with overthinking, and I would give to anybody is like I say it every video because I mean it. It's pure intentions for me. Like if my intentions are pure, I really can live with the results. I
Yeah.
really can because I'm going to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, that's
so
natural.
if I know though I intended well, I mean fuck it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to just live with this one. I really do because I know where my heart was at.
I
You know
was
what I'm
gonna
saying? And
say
I was
same.
that oh not before, okay. If you want, unless you want to go ahead real quick.
No, I was just gonna say same with what you said because like I know even although my intentions are always pure, it doesn't mean that it benefits the other party all
Right
the
there you
time. And
go. And you're aware of that though.
although like I live righteously and my intentions are pure, I'm not a people pleaser. I'm gonna tell you right from wrong 100%.
Right.
And I'm gonna let you know what it is. And like he said, I can take the repercussions of you being mad or whatever, all the backlash. I can take that.
Yep.
Because I did it with the intent that although you don't like hearing this criticism at this time, you need it so you can apply it to your life and move forward and get out of whatever tunnel
Boom.
you're in.
There you go.
And it's like
There you
fuck it,
go. Like,
I'll deal with it.
yeah, just like that. I think I was gonna say yeah, that's just awareness, man. You become aware of yourself and also people and their reactions and shit to shit, responding like saying that personal response to it because they feel whatever they feel entitled to, that they should be able to do whatever and think like that. Then I mean, it's cool, bro. But yeah, I think I'll be living with it, bro. Hey, have pure intentions, bro. I swear, life makes it easier, man. Life, it's easier. It's easier when you just do shit purely. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, and I say fun shit to do, man. If you overthink, you
Yeah.
that's have to
Journal
have
or
it.
something
Yeah, you have to
instead
do
of
that
texting
shit.
that person like woo about a situation that probably isn't even something that you guys are going through at that moment. You're literally like referencing a month ago or a person that probably doesn't even exist in your guys' world at that time. Like just fucking journal. Hey, I'm feeling this way. Like I thought of this situation from 3 years ago today, and I'm gonna make it a problem with somebody who doesn't even, it's not a surfacing problem. I feel like most times, like
I was gonna
just
say too.
it's natural to think and go in that
If
headspace,
you,
but don't stay there. I feel like that's the problem when you
That's the
stay
problem that
there.
people can't get
yeah,
over is that they
yeah,
stay there. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the moment you can't control something, just you gotta leave that. You don't
Yeah.
start acting like in a way crazy and stupid because it's like it's
Really
out your
stupid.
hands reach. You can't control another person, bro. You can't. As much as you want to, there's people that try to control the motherfuckers. And be like, you can't wear this, you can't do this. And it's like,
Try to
wow,
treat people like property.
yeah,
Yeah.
you should. I think you should always also for anybody that's overthinking, like just situations involving others, like just try to ask a very direct question. I mean, just ask as like precise of a question as you can ask, get the answer, and whether it's something you're fond of or not. Like if it wasn't the answer you were looking for, like because you're really hoping they were said this. I mean, you just like go back to what you were saying. Like it was something you couldn't control. They weren't in agreement with whatever you wanted. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted something from them and they told you no, gotta live with that. You know what I'm saying? Or you didn't want them to do something, but they did it anyway. You gotta live with that. That was their choice, bro.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I'm
can't be
saying? So
mad at
don't
them.
overthink that somebody else's decisions. That's their decision.
That's me when I get in that headspace. I feel like if I ever am in that situation, I'm literally going to be in search of like clarity or reassurance. And it's literally going to be a question that you can't say anything other than yes or no. And or here's why. And then if it's not the answer I'm in search for, it's like I understand that I don't have to be intertwined with that situation either.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, this isn't what I was expecting, or blah blah blah. XYZ, I'm gonna just go ahead and remove myself. Whether that goes for responding and saying so, or just literally taking what I got from it, like, oh, okay, that's his take. I respect that, or her take for that matter.
Right.
I respect that. That's credible, and that's your prerogative and free will to feel that way. But I don't fuck with it.
There you go.
And I don't have to deal with it. And I feel like that's your peace at the same time.
Hey, worry about your fucking self.
You can only control you at the end of the day.
I'm like in my head, I'm like, yeah, just worry about your fucking self. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, good said, man. Stop fucking stop worrying about shit you can't control.
Man,
saying?
that's a big one though, because that's literally what leads to unthinkable.
Keep your intentions pure. Own up to your bullshit and your mistakes.
Yeah, accountability is big with overthinking too.
Live with being able that you're human. You're going to make mistakes because it's going to happen. Am I missing something?
No, you said. Did you say that utilizing more time?
There we have to. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, do something with your fucking life. Go live a little bit. Get some hobbies. Do some shit.
Or if you enjoy pondering on something, journal.
If you, like she said, if that's just something you really do enjoy doing, it find a way to do it where it's not. If it's negatively affecting you, to stop the negative effect you by keeping it in your head and put it on a journal or something, or make a song,
seek therapeutic help,
or make art, or yep. I don't do therapy or anything. I'm not gonna say I'm against it.
Yeah.
I just feel like the reason I don't do therapy, and I ain't gonna say I'm in self defense mode or anything, but it's just like I know how fucking much y'all talk about therapy and shit. I just feel like I have great people I can talk to. Number one though, ultimately, is I'm great at talking to myself.
Yeah.
I have great ass advice to myself.
That's
just being real as fuck. I have some great ass advice for myself. So I always go to me first. And then if I need to, I do have a great amount of people in my life. I mean, a great amount probably like two hands worth of people that I can go and talk to. And all of them I can get different, answers and perspectives that I feel like and I'm intelligent enough to weigh out my options on making my decision or something, you know what I mean? Or going through with that problem, whatever was at hand, you know what I mean? So there's some great fucking people around you too, man. You know what I'm saying? That you could talk shit out with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's why I suggested like journaling, because I blog a lot, and I haven't done it in like a couple years, but to see those thoughts come alive and to just be like, this is so unstrategic. Like, why am I even writing this bullshit? Or why do I even feel this way? And then you can literally analyze the situation and be like, okay, this is what I need to do differently or whatever. It's a lot, like just like the same with bills. Like it's like you'll know rent is due, but when you see it on the calendar due between the first and the third, and it's like, damn, okay, I actually have to take this expense out of my bank account. So when it's like a live thing rather than just a thought, is like you kind of orchestrate it differently and then try to like execute it. Like I need this thought out of my head before it goes this, or I'm crazy for thinking this way. Which you're human, so you're not really crazy, but to stay in that headspace.
There you go. It's the staying part.
Is what makes you crazy.
It's the staying part.
Like, because it's valid. Your feelings might very well be valid, but if you still dwelling on anything that isn't in the now, it does make you a little crazy. Because you should be living in the moment at the same time.
So. Nah, yeah. I mean, like I said, just go do something like a hobby, but like that entertains your time. I don't like when I mean hobby though, is like go do sports or like
you enjoy
run something you enjoy, but I wouldn't recommend watching TV or shit like that because I feel like
or such social media.
Yeah, because when you see shit like let's say you watch a show
fairy tale,
and it's you start you're like, why can't you start connecting the shit from
Oh
your
my
life
gosh.
to like the shit that's going on?
Ooh,
on the
that's
fucking
big.
Show,
Yo.
and you overthink that shit, bro.
That's a good one. I was just thinking that when people do that when they're overthinking and they go put songs on for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that shit can backfire
And
on
it
you.
emphasizes those feelings.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
that's what I'm
exactly.
saying.
So
So-
sometimes that shit backfires. It's not always a
Yeah.
good
That's
thing.
what I'm
See,
saying.
I feel like when I listen to music, you know,
That's a
I'm
tough
human,
one.
so I do listen to something that like I relate to. But I feel like if I'm literally trying to pull myself from that, I'll listen to something that I really don't feel at that moment. Like it actually makes me
Okay.
feel weak
Okay.
to listen to it, but I'm trying to get to where the music is talking.
There you
like
go.
the aspect is talking from.
Yeah.
Like that's not really feel like this little.
Sometimes I'll listen to
But
the,
if like I
listen
feel
to
a tiny bit, I'll
intensified.
just listen to the same things I'm feeling and feel arrogant. I'm like, okay, you know, it's humans that feel this way. Woo, fuck it.
That's what I was about to say.
And going
I'll
about
do
my
it just to
business.
live out the feeling real quick.
Yep.
I will
That's
because I
funny.
know I'm not gonna go take it out on nobody.
Yeah.
But I'd rather live it out with the music in my moment. I usually wait till I do it. I'll
See, I
tell I'm
do both.
alone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I'll listen to the music and fill out that, whether it's a sad or a mad feeling,
Yeah.
whatever. Just get that because I know I won't portray that on nobody's life. I don't. That's one thing I made. I do a promise on myself when I don't like putting that on people. You know what I mean? So it's my problem. I'm gonna do it with myself. And yeah, I use music and I'll listen to something that intensifies it. I think people do use that the wrong way. Like I said, they'll do it at the wrong time. They'll do it when they're with people.
And then they'll go and
Then they'll
like,
be-
it brings
yo,
bad actions
yo.
because
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you are going to do something that
Yeah.
you enjoy doing, like the TV or social media, like, don't do that because it just gives you other negative.
Oh man.
Negative takes
Oh,
on
man.
shit. You shouldn't
So
really be doing.
negative.
Go clear your mind,
So
man.
yeah, go clear your mind by doing something like run, ride a bike, sports.
Exercise is a great
I
one.
was gonna say yeah.
Exercise is really a great one. No lie.
Yeah,
That's just a great one.
That's what I'm saying because
You're gonna clear your mind.
that's what I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend no TV though or all that shit. Cause I know motherfuckers that overthinking. Like I said, you already got too much time on your hands. If you were watching a show that involves relationships and you going through a relationship,
Now you're comparing
now
it.
you're comparing shit.
I feel like that's
Get
the
to watch
worst
some of
thing
the
you can do.
hip hop
You can
and
do as an
Atlanta type
overthinker.
shows, man. Get to watch
Is
them.
compare.
That's a
That's
good
the
one.
worst thing
Yeah,
you can
don't
do as an
compare yourself.
overthinker is
Overthink.
compare.
I think a lot of overthink got to do with that too. It is a comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Whether you're talking about comparisons with like I said, remember I was just talking about like whether it be your future in your past or your present in your past,
Yeah.
or with you and another somebody else, or with somebody else versus
Social media,
somebody else.
yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
was gonna
saying?
say.
This person A versus person B. You know what I'm saying? It is. A lot of shit do be a comparison.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just accept shit as is. I think, you know what I'm saying? If people as is, you as is, and as was. You know what I'm saying? People as was, as is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Comparison shit can get out of hand, bro.
Overthinking will be minimized if people just understand that life is about taking risks, utilizing your time better, and then just literally letting go of what you can't control. Because you're not going to be able to control everything. Like literally. Not
There you go.
even 50% of what you want to control.
There you go.
That's
I'm
just
with it.
life.
Me too.
Love y'all, man. Love y'all, man. That's life, man. You heard it. That's life. If you like this shit, go ahead and like it, man. Got a moment, comment. If you care, you know somebody or somebody that you care about, you know what I'm saying, want to hear this,
benefit from the movie.
share. You said what?
I said that can benefit from it. Share it to
Yeah,
them.
somebody could benefit from it. Share it to them. Yeah, and if you're down for the ride, go ahead and subscribe. It's that simple, man. This is this Wave.
Yes.
G Butters.
Man, express yourself.
Yes, sir.
Hey, have a blessed one, y'all. Love my people.